My name is Joseph Assad.
أنا اسمي Justin James Bakke Kazaram.
My name is Manuel Müller.
My name is Beatrice Khamisa Wanino.
I am called Lagut Joseph Moga Emiliano.
My name is Beate Müller-Grunewald.
I'm James Agüer-Garang.
Simon Bingo.
My name is Tom Dai.
Joseph Abuk.
My name is Adija Shuil Adija.
الثقافة هي جزء مهم جدا في حياة بتاعنا كمواطنين بتاع أي بلد، ونحن عارفين برضو إنه ثقافة بيجمع ناس، يعني ما بس في منطقة بتاعنا براو بيجمع ناس، والثقافة هي هوية بتاعنا.
Culture also, you would almost blend it to be actually the ethnicity that is living within that spectrum of culture, because it identifies them, it gives them a name, it gives them integrity, it gives them a way of organizing their economy. Culture is actually the well-being system of any community or any ethnic group or any race, so to speak, really.
South Sudan has more than 64 tribes, and therefore we have a cultural diversity in everything. Wherever you go, you find the culture expressed in the way we eat, in the way we dance, in the way we even perform marriages and things like that. So culture is part of our communities, and it is what defines us as South Sudanese. I think culture, for us to develop, we also need to develop our cultures, because with our cultures, it unites the people, it brings us together, because we identify ourselves through our cultural identity.
Culture is ourselves. Culture is so important, whether we are in the modern world or the rural world.
أنا طبعا في أوروباب كالتشرال فاونديشن، بعدك أنا فكرنا قلنا كده أن بنقدر كلنا نلموا جنوبين تاعنا في محل واحد عشان الثقافة بتاعنا ده ما بيودروا. عشان كده ده السبب على أن كان بدأ فوق أوروباب كمجموعة كان سكير لحد ما بقى انستيتيوت كان في خرطوم.
Basically, we use music, dance, and drama, MDD, and other creative arts to be able to educate our people at the grassroots. We use these channels as a way to sensitize people about social life, how to live a healthy life, because we are currently surrounded by a lot of things like various diseases. So we use this music, dance, and drama to be able to communicate to the people that, A, we have something bad in the society. For example, COVID-19, when we talk about HIV and AIDS, or when we talk about sensitizing people about the importance of peace. So we use music, dance, and drama. Not only that, we also focus much on the preservation of forests, for instance, wildlife. We advocate so much to keep the environment green, because with that, doing that one, then mankind would always be in problem. We get our oxygen from the trees, so we need to make our environment always clean by producing more trees so that we can breathe in clean oxygen.
Action.
When South Sudan was one country, there was a lot of conflict, and South Sudan has been like a battlefield. We got independent, like we have our own country now. We need to share our own stories. We decided that we need to look for a platform to share these stories. So that's why we decided that we need to come with the Juba Film Festival.
For the first time of its kind, the Juba Film Festival 2016 is here.
We are a diverse country, and we have a lot of stories, and these stories have not been told. So we feel like as South Sudanese, we need to know our own stories. It is important for all South Sudanese to know issues that affect them and how to solve those issues. And also for the world to know what is happening in South Sudan. What is South Sudan made of? Apart from the fact that our country has been overshadowed by the issue of war. People see us there like fighters, people see us there like warriors, people who kill themselves. But this is our opportunity, like, to try to redefine our country that, listen guys, this is not what we are.
You can be able to produce one film. Maybe 8 million of South Sudanese can watch that film. Film will be realized in people's heart.
People will never realize what is going on until you show them what is going on. So we are not acting against our country, but we are acting what is real.
Mom, I don't love him.
My daughter, this man has paid your uncles a lot of cattle. So they will not understand that you don't love him.
Now what have I done to deserve this?
No.
I need your help.
My daughter, they will not understand.
Purpose of the cartoons, because cartoons can solve problems, and it is also important because while just I'm looking for the solutions according to myself, I can say how this problem could be solved, and I just spread the idea. Maybe the idea can have a place among us.
Cartoons is a talent, but I said to myself, my communities, my entire people in South Sudan, they need a very strong message. That's why I'm doing cartoons. Very easy to be more understandable to the communities.
In life, we have a different form of contributing. We as artists, we found ourselves, this is the career we have, so we have to utilize that talents. So we realize that the cartoons is very quick, and because of the situation now, people they got depressed, they don't have time to read even. Because we observe the ideas, we observe the information, then we get it out. We get it out in form of pictures. All people, they like pictures.
People in the village, most of people don't read the newspaper. But they will look at the cartoons and say, oh, there is Ebola. Or maybe there is a mosquito. This is mosquito are killing people now. So when you put those characters, everyone can read. So cartoons is a very image to be more remember. Cartoons, you can remember 10 years, you can remember 5 years. I like this career because it gives me a chance of communications with people. And I like to do this artwork because I feel myself inside there to communicate with people, not only with politicians.
We are using art in community transformation, because what we are in, what we need is to break the cycle of violence in our community. We are using art to do that, to transform our society, to educate them on the importance of living together, because art has no borders. It is not a language of anyone's. It is the universal language that can be understood by anyone.
People in South Sudan have a huge diversity of culture. During the last 10 years of independence, Germany gave a support to cultural initiatives in the country. We feel that this is important because culture can contribute to peace. There are a lot of young people who founded initiatives and who founded very important cultural projects, like, for example, the International Film Festival or the Natural Arts Festival. These are some examples of where Germany gave support.
what is missing so much is appreciation of the cultural values of our people. A leader who has come up to assume a certain leadership position, whether political or social or that, one would think that the utmost need for him to come together, to come nearer to his people, is to understand them, is to appreciate the way they sing, the way they dance, the way they that, you know. And in this way, it will bring these people nearer to the modern settings of doing things. Because there are certain valuable things in culture that can straighten the behavior inside the urban setting.
Cultural, creative arts is one of the best methodology to reach people. No matter if you are a writer or if you're a storyteller, if you're an actor, if you have role plays, if you have puppetry shows, if you have music. And the people, if they listen, if they realize their music from their ethnical roots, if they know them, they feel welcomed. No matter who is performing this, but they realize it's us, we are part of this. And to use this even to message people with messages of peace building, with messages, what we have nowadays, this corona is all around the world. It is very difficult to reach the people.
For us to disseminate this kind of rich cultural heritage to the world, we need resources. We need resources that have to be put in place so that we can organize our cultural groups, whether be they artists, be they dancers and so forth. For example, I also had the idea of having an exhibition, for example. You exhibit the work done by our young people, young artists, they are painters and so forth, so that it can attract, you know, I can disseminate the information to attract the various communities that we have in South Sudan or in Juba. Also the foreign missions that are here, so that they can really appreciate and know that South Sudan is much more than war, because people normally associate South Sudan with the wars, with the displacements, with the hunger, with the community violence, things like that. But we have something more to show. So through culture, we can depict some of those positive aspects of South Sudan.
I think that the challenges for the leadership of this country is to say, let us give opportunity for all the other channels of culture. There is modern culture, which is the urban culture that now we seem to be completely sticking to. There is culture of the learned people, people who are taught school education, school culture, and so forth. There is also a culture of the, you know, of the lower level of society.
Traditionally, when you talk about tourism, you also talk about your cultural diversity. And whenever you have an exhibition, tourism, in the area of tourism, you are supposed also to depict some of the things that are being done. And so as a ministry, we are going to work closely with the Ministry of, as I said, Culture and Museums, but also the Ministry of Wildlife, and especially the tourism aspect, so that as we advertise our various game parks and so forth, we also know that we have to advertise also the kind of cultures that we are depicting. So yes, we are supposed to do that in the embassies. It's not being done much, but it is one of the things that we want to introduce.
Experiences in the other parts of the world, they showed that, in particular in the process of building a peaceful nation, to come together, you need to understand your roots, where you are coming from. And this is, in the Republic of South Sudan, not so easy. With all these different tribes, with all these different languages, maybe you were born during the First, Second, Third War, and you are lacking your cultural understanding and your cultural roots. So therefore it is very important even to educate nowadays younger people where their roots are.
challenges طبعا هو كتير مرات في challenges مثلا كمحل مثلا يعني انت عشان انت بقدر تعمل نشاط بتاعك اول حاجه انت بتفكر فوقه محل عشان انت بقدر اسس فوقه زياده على كده الأسر بتاعنا ذاته كجنوب السودان أو مثلا في أي محل في أفكار طبعا كتير ما وصل لهم في راس بتاعهم. هم بعد ما مرات بيشوفوا حاجات ثقافة ده حاجات نونسنس، حاجات ما عنده أي معنى، حاجات ده زمن ساكت. عشان كده أي زول هسه في بيت بتاعه بيتمنى جنة بتاعه ده بيطلع مهندس، بيطلع دكتور، بيطلع كده، لكن ما في زول بيقول جنة بتاعه ده خليه يروح يطلع فنان.
The main challenge is like you do or you take or you leave it. Take and leave, it is the main challenge in the cartoons, because sometimes they say this area, sometimes you will put your life in a risk. Anyhow, this is our country. We have to face those challenges.
I do remember I made a cartoon that about the Nile Valley, the unity of the Nile Valley. So the second day, the policemen or the detectives people came to see me.
Esta sunu winu bagasi da tombare de makeda surubu mosa ya nakuma. Asida wayam tas magal asida ga shirin besha lakin. Asida kana surubu mosa ba mul sunu nakuma. Ba mul sunu nakuma. Wayom lakin sai tas ma wen lakin asida wayom. Asida na gal ga kulbe mola biga mitenga kulba ba shirin besha. Asida the git is the git. Ferik to sunu nakuma.
The ministry, the government have to have a very good will. For them, they see that this what we are doing is just waste of time. But they don't know that we are recording the archive of South Sudan. There are people after we are not even there. There are people that will come, they say, when did this film thing start in South Sudan? They will use us as examples. They'll be using us to make better films in South Sudan. Because, there were people, can kida zaman, can make the rest of the film, but they are making films. So the ministry really has, as much as possible, need to try as much as possible to bring the film community together and make it like part of their activity.
Haja de kulu mafi le yaba gali na kuma di nyorot gali ma ahel to mafi wanti yaba fogo la gile keneje ko gile kene system na kuma ma system baba ya kutu mi system abota ilwo na kuma sa ko system.
Culture cannot be dropped, cannot be sent away. Our government would need to look back to see and identify what other good things are there in the traditional way that can be brought in now, and especially in ornamenting children, youth in their different schools.
As a ministry, we have now put in place the policy, a siyasa al-am zato, on the culture and heritage. How do we see it? Then هدارنا نشوف culture بتاعنا إنه هل the new generation can adapt it? We can go back, because there is a good things also in the past that we need also to develop to be better. كويس ده مهم شديد إن إحنا برضو we think about it. عشان كده we put the policy which is a South Sudan National Policy for Culture and Heritage. This policy, if we put our hand and our thought and our think on this policy, it will be developed better and will also direct our generation in a right path.
The chiefship of a particular society has to be helped, has to be promoted, so that those valuable aspects of the culture in that particular land or in that particular society can be absorbed, so as to help in developing a philosophy, a culture of a particular nation, a particular country.
"10 years from now, we will want to see some of the struggling artists now becoming, taking their rightful place. Beata just talked about the cartoonists and so forth. We want to see South Sudan depicted in some of these things, so that when we watch cartoon, for example, on our national TVs and so forth, we should be watching our own people showing a cartoon based on our cultural diversity, things from within the communities being depicted in cartoon form. We should also be able to see more engagement, deepening our engagement with the countries that are represented, that are accredited to the Republic of South Sudan.
فبالنسبة لي إنه التغيير في السوسايتي ده التغييرات اللي حصل ده كله ده مسؤولية بتاعنا كلنا. We'll make sure that this policy is implemented, the political will, and also all the society. ناس كلنا بتاعنا لازم يخطوا بال بتاعهم في policy ده، لأنه policy بيتكلم عن إنه الثقافات الكل أن إحنا جينا we adapted أن إحنا نعمل شنو، والثقافة بتاعنا وidentity بتاعنا هوية بتاعنا هل نحافظ عليه ولا نجيب حاجة جديدة. For these are the things also we need to go ahead.
We want to see this creative industry expanded, in the Republic of South Sudan and beyond. As we have seen, the URPAP is now going places. We also want to see other parts of the creative industry. We want to see our youth, especially, participating fully in the world arena, not only in South Sudan. So we hope 10 years from today, I will see Bingo, doing all the wonders and bringing in, even pulling in the younger people to participate, because we have a very rich, as I said before, cultural diversity, and we want the whole world to see that. What I want to say is that we are now 1 decade, 10 years into our independence, and we can see a lot happening. Yes, we have come a long way. We have been crying tears of joy, tears of pain, but through it all, together with our partners, we have defied all the odds, and we still are steady on our country. I'm happy to know that guns have silenced, according to the peace agreement, although we have issues with the communities, but now even that is coming down. And so I want to congratulate the people of South Sudan. Also want to congratulate our leadership headed by His Excellency the President, and also all our missions. In this case, I also want to congratulate the German mission here for the good work that it has done with South Sudan. Please stay with us for 10 years and even many more.
On the occasion of the Day of Independence, I wish all people in South Sudan a peaceful and prosperous future.
I want to call upon the youth that if our ancestors told us that you are the backbone of the country, you need to adjust yourself, and you need to adjust your ways, and you need to think about this nation. Link it with your background, where you came and where you are going.